Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing on this fine Friday?
Friday.
It has been a while since we've been on here. I swear to God, it feels like it's been a
Weeks, but it
long
hasn't.
time. But
We were on
we're
Monday.
back, I tell you. Welcome to Friday. Real weird day today, boy. I was at work, and it's been hot as can be here in Detroit. Upper 80s, 90s, humidity, and all that. And went in and got the day started just like normal. And all of a sudden, I'm just sitting there and I hear one of the guys, say something. I kind of just looked at him and was like, what the heck? It was just very strange, like almost in a fog. And he said something again. And sometimes every now and then I'll have an issue with like the sugar drops. And, usually just grab some candy, something like that, good to go. But today, man, it was definitely different, but all is well. And you guys can't get rid of me that easy. But
Yeah, he's back to normal, whatever that is.
some people couldn't even tell. But let's get, you can hear voices.
I'm
can
here
see who it is.
voices.
Oh, geez.
There we go.
And,
Look at two of my favorite people on the screen.
but it's been a while, man. There's been so much going on in the past, really, couple months.
hmm
And these, for the most part, up until recently, have been, pretty decent things going on. When it comes to actually the social media stuff, it's been very, very positive things happening. And, but as you guys saw in the post, we did lose a family member.
hmm
And thank you guys so much for the just amazing positive words, comments, thoughts, and prayers. It means a lot. It really does. My Aunt Joanne was just
Sweet thing.
absolutely amazing,
hmm
amazing person. She's a little tiny thing, boy, but a little dynamo. And I've got so many just wonderful, beautiful memories of my aunt because of situations when I was younger. We spent a lot of time over there. Me as a youngster, I had the honor and privilege of being there quite a bit. So not only with my aunt and uncle, but with my cousins. I mean, for me, it was paradise, man. Um, I had, we'll pop you out of there so you can,
Do my
there
typing?
you
Yeah,
go.
there
Then
you
we'll
go.
pop you back on.
Okay.
But yeah, I was there quite a bit with my cousins, John and Jeff. And then a few years later, Joe popped into to the, to the family. And so it was the John, Jeff, my cousin Joe, and myself. And we tore it up, boy. And my Aunt Joanne kept us in line. And like I said, a lot of great memories and something like this, makes you go back and start thinking. And obviously, it's a terrible loss for us. But it's given me a chance to kind of reflect and think back. And there's so many things that I'm just remembering now about those younger years, boy, and spending it with my cousins and my aunt, and my uncle, and the family all together. And you'll be deeply missed by so many people. So thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. But other than that, like I said, I went from pretty much being on here and irritating everybody almost every day, all day, to not being on here much at all. And a lot of that has to do with scheduling.
Like full time job, maybe.
Working at Harley, it's so
Mhm.
great to be back with the guys. Christy, Brandon, thank you guys for popping on, man. Definitely missed you guys. Tyler, um, but it's so great to be back with the guys at Wolverine Harley. Um, but it's just a lot going on. And when you're doing, that full time, and then, this year, it went from what I thought was actually going to be just a hobby a year or 2 years ago when I started this, or actually not a hobby with My Fight Our War, but with the podcasting, to what it's turned into. Um, it's quite a bit, but I wouldn't change a thing, man. Just right now, just trying to get everything in order. And those of you who know me know that organization is not
Number
me.
one skill.
That and
Balancing a check.
that and being prompt on time. That's why you always got the ish when but that's why I thank God for OG, holding down the fort with all this going on, because everything that happens here in a positive way moving forward, and that's been going on in the past month or two, in social media things that are that we are doing moving forward. Every time I say yes to something,
check with me first,
adds
please.
on
Check.
to everything that she has to do. Whether I mean the shows, being either a guest on someone's show or having guests come on the show, that's stuff that she takes care of as well. But when it comes to some of the things that are happening now moving forward with the new show, the new platform that myself and Thomas Vestergaard, the Sensitive Biker, are doing with our new show, My Brother's Keeper, a biker's podcast. That's another thing now that she's admin and taking control of, and all the stuff that happens with My Fight Our War and all that, she's got those that she's taking on as well. But unfortunately, with this social media world, I've got to see so many different parts of it, which I never thought I would. And for what I'm doing, is something that eventually, obviously, I would like to be able to do 100% full time, which would be obviously a business, and business decisions have to be made. And unfortunately, with moving forward and with my schedule, with Skylar Ray's schedule, we weren't able to do that on a regular basis. And like I said, some choices had to be made that were extremely tough. And one of them was me not being on Music and Mayhem anymore, not being able to fulfill my obligation to do that. And if I can't do what I say I'm going to do, I'm not going to dump stuff on anyone else.
Well, you're not going to do a half-ass job.
No,
That's
not at
not you.
all.
That's not you.
And not only that, but yeah, exactly. That's just it. I'm not going to sit there and do something just to do it, and that'll never happen. So unfortunately, the actual page itself is still there. It still says Music and Mayhem, and it says a podcast on it. Obviously, the pictures are no longer up there because, like I said, Skylar still got the page and is doing stuff like that. I'm still going to be popping out. We're going to be doing things together. It'll be very spontaneous, pretty much just like the show, and jumping up and doing things when we can. Him and Kayla are just getting slammed with their We Do Recover tour. So, I mean, they are so busy traveling all around with their obligations as well. And, when we started this together, I've been very fortunate with some of the decisions making and going forward with this. I had that feeling about, like I said, myself and Skylar when he was a guest on the show. And, just like with My Fight Our War, I mean, it literally, it came to me when it was supposed to come to me. For 3 years after I got out of the hospital, when they told me I was going to die in 6 weeks, I was out of the hospital, and a lot of people thought, man, you must have started My Fight Our War that night. And that's not the case, man. I didn't do anything for 3 years. And all of a sudden one night, boom, it just hit me. I went from sitting in the living room to sitting in the kitchen to writing down My Fight Our War within a matter of minutes, and it was formed. Same thing happened with Music and Mayhem. Sitting here after we did our show when he was a guest on, Skylar was a guest. That night, I was just thinking about how everything went, and I knew that I wanted to pursue it going forward. And sure enough, I had the idea of co-hosting a show, and within minutes, Music and Mayhem popped into my head. So I contacted Skylar the next day, and I said, "Listen, got an idea? What do you think?" They want to start another podcast. I already got the name, Music and Mayhem. What do you think about co-hosting? And boom, we did it, and had a great time, and wouldn't change a thing. But like I said, with moving forward and different obligations, just not able to do it. But you know,
Other adventures will come up.
yeah, exactly. And you know, it sucks
You got
because I
Leroy
really
on.
look forward to doing the show. But as I'm learning in this, definitely this new world that I'm in with social media, is there are choices that you have to make and decisions that have to be made. But you know what? It's just in life. I mean, it's no different. It's just, it doesn't matter. Life at Harley, well, life in social media, life is life, and you just roll with it, and you do what comes your way, and you deal with it, and you face it, and you move on. And again, I don't mean that in any negative way at all, because
no.
these things that are happening are absolutely wonderful, and I appreciate these opportunities so much. And in the next couple of weeks and stuff moving forward, as they come in, the details about what we're doing, you know, we'll go forward with that as well. But I just wanted to kind of, you know, get that out there because, you know,
Well, you're kind of burning the candle at both ends there for a bit.
it gets you a little bit.
You need like a week of a nap.
Oh man. And sometimes what happens, like I was saying earlier on the live, is, you know, I sit there and I try to do things my way. And that's pretty much done my whole life. And you know what? The big man upstairs says, well, all right, I'll let you stumble around. And after I've stumbled and fell a few more times, he said, you know what? You tried your way. How'd that work? Now you're going to do it my way. And actually, things happen where you just kind of have to take a step back by things that are out of your control. And by doing that, looking at things completely different, seeing things from a different view and all that. And it's just like, okay, this is exactly what I needed. Step back for a little bit, recharge the batteries, and come out swinging. But one thing I definitely learned in social media is just in life is you get a lot of this and rumors and stuff like that. And, you know, the first thing that happens when you are any changes, especially with platforms like ours. So the bottom line is, you know, that's one thing, this drama bullshit about people talking this and talking that drives me nuts. And I don't do it on my show or any other show. And if I have people come on and they have issues, and then it starts off with, well, I heard from, no, it stops right there. It's either you heard it firsthand or I don't want to hear about it. So for me, I've, you know, had a couple of people pop up with comments saying, well, I heard this or I heard that. Why, you know, with Music and Mayhem, you hear from me. If you hear anything other than what I just said, I don't care who you hear it from. I just telling you straight out now, if you hear anything other than what I just said about Music and Mayhem and the reasons why, I can tell you what, it's 100% bullshit lie.
Still love.
And so,
Just love all around.
Yeah, I mean, myself, OG Skyler, Kayla, Pound Cake Susie, all that stuff. It's just a business decision, and that's it. So, moving forward, my brother Thomas Vestergaard in Denmark with his beautiful wife to be Sophia. We are
Isn't he getting married tomorrow?
I don't know.
I thought it was.
Well, we just maybe he, you know, with them in Denmark when we first started this.
The 19th of July.
When we first started this, he was in Thailand. So here, again, this idea pops up, this opportunity pops up. Me and Thomas start talking. We went through a bunch of different scenarios that we had to cover our butts. And next thing you know, we sit down and we agreed that this is what we were going to do. With his lifestyle and mine, obviously our stories are so different, but when it comes to the core of different things, they're so much the same. His lifestyle as a biker and the things that he saw, the things that he did. Obviously, we can never completely feel or understand what someone else is feeling or going through, but in certain situations, you can relate to it. Just like you can never get someone who's never drank, done drugs in their life, come up to any of us and say, oh, I know how you feel. No, you don't. You know, you can sympathize and empathize, all that, but you'll never know. Where one of us can, you know, hear someone talking and say, you know what, I can relate to what you're talking about. Myself and Thomas, as far as the biker world and the things that go with it, while we were talking, when we first decided to do this show, we were almost, just, it sounded like the same story. It's some of the things we were talking about going back and forth. And, and here we are moving forward. Now, we did a couple shows. They're going to be on Mondays. So it's going to be a busy Monday because we're going to be doing My Brother's Keeper.
And my final
We're still working on the times for that. It's going to be like 4:35 ish or 5:30 ish. We'll work on that. Some things will never change.
That's 10
folks.
o'clock at night for him. It's a
Yes,
6 hour.
exactly. He's in
6 hour
Denmark.
difference?
And then after that, following that, we will have My Fight Our War with all the guests and family members who are coming on
Mhm.
as guests that are going to tell their story. That will never stop. That's something that we do. That's why we're here, to help and support and motivate. And yes, the kick in the ass when needed. But that being said, too, with things that have happened, with all the changes, there's so much inconsistency with what we were able to do because of scheduling. Myself and Thomas talked about it. It's like, listen, let's take care of the things, especially right now with my family.
And his upcoming marriage.
And Thomas's upcoming marriage. We're going to get everything taken care of. Family is priority.
Mhm.
Number one. We all know
Mhm.
that.
Always.
Whether it's My Fight or War family, the My Brother's Keeper Bikers podcast family, the Music and Mayhem family, all of us, family is priority no
Mhm.
matter what. And what we're going to do is, once everything's established, as far as, especially with my family, it'll be the end this weekend. And with him going on forward, it will be, everything will be in order, and with as much inconsistency as possible, as long as I'm involved in it. And also, I see my brother Tyler and Donald Blow's in the house. How you guys doing? Jeanette, how are you, Jeanette? Did I miss anyone here?
Heidi's on.
Heidi is just awesome,
Yeah,
man.
she's
Heidi
always-
has
we
been
love
here
Heidi.
from day one.
Hey,
Heidi,
Christy and Tyler and Brandon.
everybody.
Leroy, my brother.
But
Leroy.
Leroy Ebron, my brother from Connecticut or from New York, is here. I want to give a shout out to Tyler Thomason, man. He did a great job. He had Lindsay's in the house, the horse rider. I tell you, I love some of those pictures, man. Between her and who was it, Bo? They with the horses, man.
Yeah.
I tell you, I got to get out there, man. I want to get me on a horse. Just
how
like
about you
riding a
pet? How
bull.
about you pet the horse?
But anyways, back to Tyler. I just want to give Tyler a shout out. He has his podcast, Knocking Out Addiction, and he had Thomas on as a guest. Tyler, great job, brother. Really proud of you, man. You have come on such a long way. I remember you telling me about wanting to start this when you were on as a guest on My Fight or War way back when. And you've done so much more since then, from not only Knocking Out Addiction, but prior to that, your MMA. So, great job, man. But it's been very different, man, going from being on here so much, and all of a sudden when this happened, it really kind of just like knocked the wind out of me, because it was like, damn, man, this is just such a huge part of my life. And but like I said, it's all it is doing is just rearranging priorities. You have to change a couple things here and there, but the bottom line is
He's still here.
And nothing's changing, man. We are here for each other. We're not here to judge anybody. There's no expectations of what you have to do or should do or might. What we are here for is to offer suggestions, and we're offer our support and motivation. That's it. But there's got to go back to Lori and everyone, and Christy and everyone, Jeanette, back at Athens, Alabama. What just an incredible.
Now that you've said
event.
her name, she'll probably pop up. It seems like that's
Lori,
what happens. You mention Lori's name.
I haven't. It's been so hard to chit. There she is.
I tell you.
It's been very hard, like I said, because you want to reach out. There's so many people that have been reaching out to myself and my family wanting to lend support in any way possible. And there's just so much going on. And man, can you the that door?
Oh,
Um, that sometimes it gets hard to. One day it's Monday, and all of a sudden it's Saturday. It's like what the hell? And time gets away when stuff was happening like this. But don't ever think that you guys are not on my mind, because you are. I mean, this family, when I started My Fight Our War back in 2023, um, it was the start of an amazing relationship with so many people, and such a blessing. I just saw, well, my Lori is in the house, and Heidi, God bless her, Heidi fires back with, "Hey, lipstick Lori." um, but this is just such a great place to come and just the one thing I love about My Fight or War, and one thing I try to do with everything that I'm involved in, is um, I'm going to be me the entire time. I'm never going to be anything that I'm not. That's something that I basically learned from day one doing this, because out of ignorance, because of not knowing any better. I would see other shows and stuff like that, but never in a million years did I think that I was going to be doing one. Um, and the one thing I did, know from day one is I'm always going to just be me. And you know what? Throw your shit out there, because if you don't, someone's going to try to pop in here and either make shit up or pull stuff out. Throw it out there, man. And you know, I could guarantee you I am the most imperfect person you've ever met. If there's a mistake I haven't made, I guarantee you it'll just be a matter of time before I do make it. Um, but a lot has changed in my life, just like all our lives, and it's because of all of you. And it's uh, it's something that I appreciate, and feel very honored and humbled to be part of such an amazing family, because it's all you guys, man, with Heidi and Donald and King Handsome and just everyone else that's part of this. And that's one thing that I'm very proud of too, is talking to some people about what we do at My Fight Our War and other projects that I'm in. Is the I love it when people say I feel very safe when talking with you.
mhm.
I feel very at ease talking with you, because man, when it comes down to it, just like I said, I don't have diplomas or certificates or any of that stuff hanging on my wall. I got a big ass wolf behind me, just like I have a big ass wolf tattooed on my back for the last 28 years. And I've said from day one, I'm one of you. And, we are together in this fight. The name, this is my fight, but it's our war. And we do that. We fight this battle. We fight this war as one family, no matter what the names are, all the different platforms, we're just an extended family.
Did you share with them what we did last weekend?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
That's just, it's like I
There's
said,
so many things.
it's in this pile of stuff. And, but all the different, like I said, the opportunities that have been presented are just stuff that at times it doesn't seem real. And one of them is someone who I got to know, not only just get to know, but to form a very close friendship and family with, and that's AJ Galante, and in New York and Connecticut. And it's just crazy, because 3 years ago I knew of AJ Galante from watching a Netflix series about hockey and the Danbury Trashers. So I had someone was telling me about this Netflix series, and they know me and hockey, and said, "You got to check this shit out. It's crazy. You'll love it." So I start watching this documentary, and I've probably seen it at least 5, 6 times at least, and since then till now. Well, you talk about life happens. Well, it'll be a year. This coming July 4th
Mhm.
is going to be a year that all of this has happened. And I keep forgetting it's only been a year. But My Fighter War, we've been around since January 9th, 2023. But as far as me doing shows and stuff like this and doing the podcast, July 4th is when I went to Connecticut and was on Ian Bick's show. And that's when everything changed. So I got to give a huge shout out to my brother Ian Bick, producer Matt Cronin, Coach Dave, Coach Anthony Morrissey, everyone, Leroy Ebron that I met through going through Connecticut a year ago, this coming July 4th, AJ Galante. So I walk into the studio to do Ian's show, and on the wall is a Danbury Trasher jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the shit? I go, I saw that documentary. That was insane. I loved it. And he goes, oh, AJ? I'm like, yeah, AJ. He goes, oh, yeah, good buddy of mine. I'm like, what? Next thing you know, he makes a couple phone calls, tells AJ about me. And lo and behold, there's me and AJ.
Mm-hmm.
He was on My Fighter War as a guest. And not only that, we are now part of his family. And this past weekend, we were part of an amazing event that AJ and his crew put on at Soaring Eagle Casino in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. The Battle on Ice, the War
Bare knuckle ice.
Bare knuckle fighting
Ice
championship. And it's basically two guys in their hockey gear throw down, man. And it's on synthetic ice. And you're throwing, you're going down just like old school hockey. And there we were treated with such respect. With when we got there, we had our credentials. We were right there with all the VIPs, Darren McCarty, Thomas Hearns. I can't remember that one actor's name. Antonio somebody is doing a celebrity boxing match. And it was so funny because as we were getting our credentials, I'm just sitting there. And all of a sudden, a few minutes later, as the crowd's going by, I look and here comes AJ through the crowd with one of his guys. And AJ goes, holy shit. So here we are, just chit-chatting before the event. And I just started laughing. I was talking to OG. I said, 3 years ago, I'm watching this documentary about this guy and his dad and the Danbury Trashers. Here we are now, pick up the phone, give him a call. Hey, Jay, listen, man, you're going to do this show or you're going to do that. Okay, we'd like you to promote this. And that's just what I mean, how things happen. And it's such a complete an honor. And not only for that, but for Lori, for Vincent, for Heidi, for Thomas, for Tyler, Donald, for everyone that's part of this family. I mean, just like I was on a show one time and it said, they said, what are you grateful for? And I was, of course, rattling off all this stuff. And I said, boy, thank God, I'm grateful for addiction. And I can't remember what show it was. And the person just was like, what? I go, hey, man, if it wasn't for addiction, I wouldn't be sitting here with you. If it wasn't for addiction, none of us would be, would know each other. I wouldn't know Lori, the amazing addiction eviction rally in Athens, Alabama. That was just insane. You talk about family and love and just small town Southern hospitality. We got it when we got there. And it started at the airport with the one and only Lori. And, as soon as we came out the door, there she was with that big smile and a big old hug. And
her lipstick.
The red lipstick. And it was just one amazing weekend. And you talk about intensity. The whole point, Lori busted her ass to get all that, and it showed. There was so much that happened that weekend. We were there to share stories. We were there to help in any way we can to save lives. That was the whole point of it. Little did we know that it would actually save one person's, physically save their life, who actually OD'd in the middle of the event. Went from laying there right in front of us all to turning dark blue, black lips, died right in front of us, dead right there. Took their last breath, last heartbeat. Thank God for being where she was. Narcan was administered. CPR was given. The last update I heard, it's been a while since the update, but bottom line is we got her back.
So
Yeah,
do
after
I.
the hard work and dedication for the people that administered the Narcan, the CPR, she was revived. Now we can only just hope and pray that continues on that path. So again, Lori, if it wasn't for you and the
Mhm.
amazing people in Athens, Alabama that helped you, because I know you had a lot of help. I don't have all the names of the people, but that were involved in this.
You got to tell him what she said about how she had to clean out her van
Clean out her van.
to go pick up.
Oh yeah, it
I
was
love
great.
that.
We
I
were
love
sitting
that.
there,
Yeah,
we
I
were
don't want to
talking on
skip
the
the whole
phone,
thing because it was just
and
so.
Lori, we're talking. She goes, "Man, you got to go." And this is right before the event, and it said, she said, "I got to go because I got to help with get these chairs out of the van because I got to go pick up my convicts." And I was like, "It's like, oh, okay." It was like she had a to-go order. I'll have 5 convicts. No, make that 6 convicts to go. And what it was is they had these inmates, and I don't know if they were the trustees or whatever the case may be, but because of Lori being Lori, these inmates had the opportunity to come
Mhm.
and help, and they were awesome. So again, that was Lori and the amazing people at Athens, Alabama. So thank you for that. And I just saw Lori just posted here. It said she is
She's
not doing well. Well, we know how that goes. And like I said, we're not going to stop, praying. And yeah, we stumble, we fall. We that's in everyday life, man. Then you throw
Mhm.
addiction on and look what happens. And like so many people baptized, so many people that you could just see the change from walking around when I was watching people when we first got there, and some people that were part of the organization and part of the the locals and everyone that knew people, you could see the comfort and that people had being there. But as I'm looking around, the ones who were new, the ones who've never been here before, it was just like I said with me and OG when we got there. From the minute we got there and started meeting people, it was instant family loving,
Oh yeah.
Southern loving, man. I mean, everyone we met, we never at one point did we feel like outsiders. We didn't feel like a guest. We felt like family from
Mhm.
the minute we got there until the minute we left. We exchanged so many numbers, so many different people, and very grateful for that. So, Lori, God bless you and everyone there because you guys are amazing.
I have to put when I would go visit my family and my relatives when my dad was alive down in Texas, they'd always, say, "Oh, here's our Yankee relatives," and I didn't hear Yankee once. I went, "Oh, okay, how cool!" They accept the Northerners.
Yeah,
We thought, "Oh, okay, how is this going to be?" But there was
we
so much love; it was so wonderful.
Lori said, "Did you gain weight?" Yes, I did.
Didn't
But
we
you know
all?
what? It was worth it between that chicken
Ooh,
and yes, I had greens and
greens are
yes, I
good.
had a Dubs burger. But
So
no.
many good things.
And like I said, between the love that was in the food, the love that was in the air, Lori, thank you.
Mhm.
Everyone in Athens, thank you. Everyone from the surrounding community that were part of that amazing event, thank you. Um, but yeah, between that, like I said, with
And
this
then
last
and
week
then
with
the
AJ
Ice Wars.
Galante, with the Ice Wars, he's got another event. I've got to get the information in another week or so in Edmonton, in Canada. He's got some events going on there.
And I think
Um,
he's gonna not live stream, I think he's gonna put it on Facebook,
yeah, what we
video
did
because he videoed it.
last weekend, everything was videoed, so we were notified as soon as we got there that you guys are, good chance you're going to be on camera.
Mm,
And
or
it
behind the
was a
camera.
great time. We actually ended up sitting in front of a guy, Corey, and his wife, who was actually played for AJ, but for the Hat Tricks, and he actually is a fighter,
Mhm.
in the bare knuckle championship. And so, here just made a new friend, just sitting there talking. And here he is sitting right behind me.
Mm-hmm.
So we start talking about hockey, and I'm like, man, I played all the way through high school, college, juniors, everything. And it was just, a great time. And yeah, it's just when I
It was
sit,
very different.
it is. And everything that's going on here, it's just full circle that such terrible things that we go through dealing with addiction and where we are now. It's just like, I never thought that by sharing some of the things in my life that were so terrible, the things that I've said, the things that I've done, that you tell that story just sitting around a bunch of people, just normal, regular people without any type of background or something like that, and what and why this conversation's taking place, they're going to look at you like you're insane.
Well,
You get into a recovery platform like all of us, and you
not.
start telling this story that is hard to tell, man. We are sharing stories with people that are literally, strangers, and we are getting hugs and love and support from these people that are just like us. And it is such an incredible feeling. And that's why I love doing it. And that's why I'm going to continue to do it. But yeah, it's been it's been a challenge, man. The last month not coming on as much, not being able to do. Oh, the pie was the best part, Lord. The chocolate pie, yes,
Woo!
the chocolate pie, the chicken, the Dubs burger, the food,
And the family and the friends and the love.
the family, the friends, and the love. But this is something that's just continuing to grow. Like I said, I just miss talking to you guys. I miss seeing the names. I miss seeing the comments and the fun. What I'm going to try to do is it's going to be a very random and just popping on. Mondays is going to be like kind of like that'll be written or set in stone, where it'll be myself and Thomas Vestergaard. We will be doing my Brother's Keeper Bikers podcast. Later on in the night, we'll be doing My Fight Our War. That'll be on Mondays. Now, going forward, it's this shenanigator,
Jackie's in the
Jacqueline,
house.
Amber. Last I heard,
hospital.
she's recouping and hopefully feeling better. So we have to get Amber back, and along with Jacqueline, the two shenanigators, and just get this thing rolling again. And as far as going on other shows, other times during the week, all I can say is kind of just keep your eyes open. Excuse me, because it's going to be as random as it gets. It might be Tuesday, it might be Thursday, it might be Tuesday, Thursday. Who knows? Who knows? But guaranteed on Monday, and it's going to be a lot more as far as the consistency. That's going to be Mondays, the two shows, and then we're going to go from there. There's going to be more stuff going on with myself, and I got to talk to AJ with more details about the ice wars and the different things with the bare knuckle fighting championships as well. But right now, between My Fight Our War and my Brother's Keeper with Thomas is where the main focus is going to be. So other than that, life is good. And like I said, sometimes it takes having the rug pulled out from underneath you to actually reset and recharge the batteries, taking that step back and just seeing what's going on around you, and kind of just seeing what's really important in life. And by doing this, what I was looking at in my my life, I was getting so focused on, I want to do more, got to keep going. Well, I started slacking on some areas, and that's one thing I said I'd never do when it came to doing shows. I'm not going to come on here and do stuff just to do it,
But I do want to say that on. Oh no, we got Cliche on Monday. I was thinking
This coming Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We
Yeah, I thought for a minute she was the 30th, but she's the 23rd. Never
Oh,
mind.
Kalisha Campbell from Pine Case
Yep.
podcast, along with Calico. We're going to have both of them on. But let's see, Lindsay, thank you for tonight. It's been a rough couple of weeks, and I definitely
Oh,
needed
yeah.
to check in.
Must be
Keeping you
something
all
in
in
the
my
air.
Lindsay, that's why we're here, man.
Uh-huh.
Reach out anytime. And sometimes, things happen for a reason. Like I said, tonight wasn't planned until last minute. It's like, let's do it. Let's just pop on here and say hi. And it doesn't have to be an agenda, man. I've talked to people in the past, like, Manny, what are you going to talk about? What are you going to say? What are you going to do? And I just go, I'll let you know when I hit live, because I don't know. And I don't want to have a cookie cutter show where it's like anything. You'll never see a script in my hand. You'll never see all this show prep stuff where it's just like, no, man, we're just a bunch of people that love, respect each other and are sharing stories.
Mhm.
Sometimes we're going to sit here and we're going to be in tears because we're going to be talking about stuff that's very hard and painful, but we're saying it for a reason. We're extending ourselves to be in very uncomfortable situations because it's helping us and it's going to hopefully, help someone else as well. And then in the next 10 minutes, we're going to be crying because we're laughing so damn hard at either something stupid that I said or one of OG's silly dad jokes that only she understands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
that's another thing we're going to have to start doing. We'll throw some of these things back into play. And you know what? Just live and enjoy every moment of every
Mhm.
day. Because
Mhm.
as we've seen, man, life
It
is
can be
so
taken
fragile
fast.
and it can be taken in a blink of an eye. And that's why every day I see you guys, I see your names, I see your comments and posts, and I just sit there and think, man, what a lucky son of a bitch. And that's all because of you guys, and it means the world. So, you got anything else here, OG? Before let's pop you back on here.
Yeah, I've been
Now
right. I've been,
all you see. It's funny. I'll forget to take her off camera,
and
when
I've
it
got my
goes to
head
this,
down,
It starts like, here's OG. She's like, hey, hi, how you doing? Then all of a sudden she looks out,
and I'm
all you
down.
see is this, and then she just right
But I'm
away.
saying hi to folks,
So we got to get, since this is the OG show.
Oh,
and
yeah, that's right.
I'm just privileged to be a guest on
I
it.
remember that.
Yeah. And for those of you who are wondering about that, that was we had some breakfast, and walking out, she ended up recognizing somebody and said hi. And the guy said, oh, I recognize him. He was pointing at me. I was walking out front, and he goes, oh, I saw him on the show. And so she goes, oh, Manny, he recognized you from the show. I said, oh, okay. He goes, yeah, he was a guest on the OG show. And I was like, oh, yeah. So, okay.
Yeah, so know your place. Stay in your lane.
Know your role, man, which
Mhm.
just goes to show you. I've always said since day one, this is never has been and never will be an I and a me show. This is always an us and we when it
Mhm.
comes to My Fight or War, when it comes to My Brother's Keeper Bikers podcast, when it comes to anything that you see me on, it's always us and we.
That's true.
So there we got Lori Manny show OG off. She does let you on her. Yes, yes. I am very fortunate. I do get some airtime.
Mm-hmm.
But
yes, gotta keep them in line.
And but Heidi, a big huge thank you to Heidi too. Like I said, Heidi's been here since January 9th, 2023, and
Wow.
has been such a huge part of our family. And with all the things that have gone on since then till now, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And definitely appreciate
That sounds like
you.
life, doesn't it?
That's life, man.
There you go.
And but now the thing is, when we get the bad and the ugly, we handle it our way. We handle it like the blessed warriors that we are. We handle it like the faith and family members that we are.
We look for the good.
It
gotta
could
look
be,
for the good.
Yeah, I mean, and does it piss us off? Yeah. Does it get us mad? Yeah, and it should. But we handle it with a lot of pride and dignity and faith, and not only in our decisions, but what we do for others. And that's what I just admire so much about all of us, is no one would blame any of us, any one of you who get sober. And if you were just to say, you know what, I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to myself and my family, being the best person I can be, and that's it. No one, people would be happy for you, happy for your family. But that's not what we do, man. What we do is just that: take care of you. Got to take care of yourself first, no matter what.
Yep.
But then what do? We extend our hand. We help people that we don't even know, and that's just because we understand the deep pain and things that we have caused to ourselves.
And
But like for
others.
me, when I look back now with this clarity of what I said and what the things I've said and my actions hurting other people, there's no way that I'm going to just sit here on the sidelines and take care of me, because people took care of me when I was at my worst. So now it's time to take care of myself, and then all of us to come together as a family, as a bunch of badass warriors, and help each other. Jim Leibel,
Hi,
my
Jim.
brother from Talking Trash with Tim and Will and Kaisa. Love you guys, the Talking Trash family. You guys are amazing. We got the information from Tim to come on the show, and we replied, but
It's already
unfortunately,
taken.
we were a little late. So I'm not sure what dates are available, but
Yeah, because he was filling them up fast.
yes. So
Matter of fact,
definitely
maybe I'll text him.
any
tonight.
any opportunity to come on you guys' show, I'm in. I mean, Talking Trash, you guys are incredible. Kaisa over at Pine Case, and you and Calico are just amazing, and all of the different platforms out there, all the shows that I've been on. You got Tyler now with Knocking Out Addiction, and way back, day one with Brad McLeod, Sober School, and
Well, you
Dan and
gotta
Donna
reach
at
out to
Hard
him.
Knocks.
Yeah.
Thank you, because doing your guys' show put that spark that I had no idea that I had. And because of you guys, this is the result. You talk about stepping out of a comfort zone, which I didn't even know I had a comfort zone at that point, besides just being a complete asshole, which was so much easier at times, man. Sometimes I'm like, damn it. So, I'll do
I have
stuff.
to be
And
responsible
it's
now.
like, wait a minute.
Oh,
This is
boy.
what it feels like to have regret, to be I'm
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
to be remorseful. Screw that. It was so much easier just to be pissed off and punch someone in the face. I was like, there, that was easy. But now it's just like, man, I feel terrible inside. Oh no, I've got feeling. I feel like the
There's
Grinch.
a heart there.
There's a what is this thing?
It's beating.
Damn, it's beating. But I absolutely love it though, man, because it's just like, and I remember saying that. I think I was telling you, it's like, it sounds so insane, but learning about emotions, because for all these years, I didn't give a shit about anybody or anything, including myself. Doing stuff that hurt me physically, emotionally, spiritually, I didn't care. So why would I care if I hurt you? And that was my life for a long time, man. I just hid it as best I could until it gets to the point you can't hide it anymore. And Kaisa, we got Kaisa, we got Andrea. You guys, man, I tell you, this is what I'm talking about the family, about the love and support that is, it's you guys. And what we're going to be doing as well is, besides the shows with My Fight and with myself and Thomas, with my brother's keeper, is just random stuff like this. It's just like, and I've been saying this since day one too, but I've had people that they're like, oh, you're serious? Like, you want to come on and just bullshit? Hit me up, hit up OG. And it doesn't have to be about addiction. It doesn't have,
it could be 10 minutes
if
about
you
the
wanna
weather.
Come on, let's say, you get a hold of me or OG tomorrow and say, listen, man, I just had something amazing happen with my son. He just made the baseball team. He just did. My daughter just graduated from college. My wife just got a promotion. Whatever it is, let's celebrate it. I mean, hell, I'm going live all the time talking to you guys about, I'm walking around the cemetery, which people are like looking at me, and I had a few people say, what are you, morbid or something like that? I'm like, morbid, that's a happy place for me, man, because I have very special happy memories when I'm walking around, and I'll never lose those.
And then he's made friends there. There's squirrels that follow him around. Okay. I went out there and they are literally, he'll come up, he'll start doing the Stations of the Cross, and they follow him from station to station. It's like, oh my goodness.
I'm like the squirrel whisperer. I will sit there. I'll be at the first station.
So now I drink. What kind of nuts do you take?
The sunflower seeds. By the time I get to the second station, and there's 14 of them, I get to the second station, and all of a sudden I'll hear something. I look, and it's not like they're 5, 10, 15 feet. He is like this far from my shoe. He's just sitting there. I swear to God, it was the greatest. I went to grab my phone and I dropped it almost on him because I was going to because he was sitting up like this. And as he was looking at me, I'm looking at the second station to do my prayer. And also I heard something. I looked down because I was like, what? And I looked, he was sitting up and he had his one little paw on my shoe. And he's looking at the station and I looked down at him. He was like, what's up, Manny? Are we going to say this prayer or what? It was like he was saying the prayer with me.
Keep it moving, guys.
So I went to take the picture. I dropped my phone. You think he'd be gone. He just was like, whoa, you better give me some sunflower seeds now. And sure as shit, grabbed a bag. And he followed me all 14 stations and my little buddies. But what squirrel in
his right mind
would follow me?
Wouldn't follow Manny. There you go,
I'm
guys.
telling you, see that? Yeah.
And I saw it myself. It's not like I saw it.
Oh, my mom. My mom went to do the stations.
I'm a witness.
And I saw that. I'm sorry, my mom, I was telling her about it. And during Lent, my mom would go with me on Fridays and we would do the stations together. And I would tell her about this. And she never saw it, obviously, until she met me there. We were doing the stations. And all of a sudden, I'm walking, and my mom goes, what the shit? And she jumps. And I look, and it was my little buddy, the squirrel. She goes, this thing was almost on my foot. And it just walked right by her and came up to me and sat down.
Sunflower seeds, please.
Yeah. I was like, feed me. But yeah, it was so neat. I took a video the one time, and I got to try to find it. But it was so neat, man. He just, like I said, 14 stations. From the second one all the way, he just walked with me, and he'd stop at each one, just sit there, look around. It was so cool, So little things like that I guarantee you, 6 years ago, I would have cared less.
You probably wouldn't have noticed him, and the squirrel, just knowing your energy, wouldn't have followed you.
Just a squirrel, and here I am spending the last 3.5 minutes talking about a squirrel that made me happy. That put a smile on my face. A squirrel,
Well, but I had my geese and ducks. Okay.
There's geese, there's ducks, and we got Wild Kingdom, man. And then of course Susie the Wonder Dog, and we got all of you. That was a weird segue from ducks to squirrels to all you guys.
The family. Well, that's okay. Andrea, they're all loved ones.
Andrea, Andrea, you are so right. It's cool. It's the little things that count, and you could not put it any better than that. Sunrise. I started doing this probably about 7-8 years ago, maybe, or something like that, where I got up, and let's say sunrise was at 6. I was up early, hit the gym, and it was still dark. And I went down to this VFW
hall,
and it's where I graduated. That was where my graduation party was. So I'm sitting there, and it's still dark. And all of a sudden, these beautiful colors started coming up, and the sunrise. And I remember just being in awe. It was amazing. That was the beginning. I started going every single weekend. And again, I'd get there. I didn't get there right at sunrise. I'd be there an hour before. It was still dark. And the beauty was just breathtaking.
And then tell them about Jerry.
There was a sunrise. It's free. But Andrea, like you said, it's the little things
that count.
And not only that, but there would be people that would come down there, like even before that. I remember doing it. It was freezing cold in the winter, and there'd be people down there, the same people. It was like our own little club. But Yeah, my brother Jerry, who those of you who know me know that Jerry passed away, literally in my arms. He died in my arms, and
at the VFW.
Jerry is Jerry's stories. You know, everyone who knows Jerry growing up with us, we all have Jerry stories, and it was always something happening to Jerry. If we said, "Okay, Jerry, go right," Jerry would go left. If something, go up, he would go down. I mean, it was just Jerry. And so I'm sitting out there, and there's all these ducks and geese, all this stuff swimming around, and they're all going this way. All of a sudden, look up, and here goes one duck going that way. And I'm like, Jerry. And that was kind of the joke. One day down there, and all the ducks are swimming around, and then all of a sudden they're gone. I'm looking around, and I don't see shit. It's just clear, beautiful, calm water.
Mhm.
And also, I look up again, and about 200 yards or so is just one duck sitting there that was not there when I just looked away. And it was swimming kind of on an angle, but away. And jokingly, I just said, Jerry, this damn duck stopped and turned around and just looked right at me from shore. And I was just like, wow, that was weird. I go, Jerry, again, this thing came at an angle right at me towards the shore. He was swimming so fast, you could see a wake behind his little duck butt. I mean, he was thrown up a wake. And I'm just like, this is too weird.
He's cruising
So
towards
then
you.
I started walking down the seawall. He followed me all the way down to the seawall. And then I walked on the seawall all the way to where the seawall ended and where the land began, a little a sandy beach area. That duck walked right up the sand and just sat there with me.
Mhm.
I mean, again, something that, was like, you could tell me that 6 years ago, I wouldn't have cared. But
He's
as
the animal
Andrea
whisperer.
said, it's the little things.
Mhm.
And that little thing right there, I tell you what, those of you who really know me know I cry all the time, and I got no, anyone got issue with that, whatever. I mean, I'll laugh with the best of them, cry with the best of them as well. Because like I said, I'm just learning what these emotions are. Let's see, should I be crying or laughing right now? How about both?
You got 50 years of emotions to catch up on.
Yeah, I got to get a little checkbook here. Let's see, like to laugh, not to laugh, because I've laughed at some pretty screwed up stuff. Boy, it's like, man, that's really not funny. In my world, yes, it is.
Like the dog with the cataract.
Oh, yeah. Since we're on point here, talking about absolutely nothing, I worked with this girl.
Animal stories, kind of.
And I worked with this girl, and we were talking about pets and dogs and everything. And she was telling me about her dog and how well behaved and trained this dog was. And it did this and that. And then I was like, wow, that's pretty good. And someone asked if you trained it. She goes, no, I didn't train it. It was in a school that they trained leader dogs. And they're like, oh, that's nice. And they said, yeah, but mine got kicked out of the program because it had cataracts. I lost it, man. I'm cracking up and I'm laughing and laughing. And all of a sudden I stopped to catch my breath. And no one's laughing. And they're all just staring at me. And they're like, Manny. I'm like, oh, come on. A leader dog gets kicked out of class because he's got cataracts. And they're like, well, yeah, he's a pet dog. I go, does he have a leader dog? I mean, does he have a leash that he holds on to? And I mean, just silly shit, in the past, I would have laughed at stuff because I didn't care if it hurt or anything, just to be an asshole. Now I laugh at stuff, and mainly it's laughing at myself. And as Andrea said, because it's the little things. And sometimes those little things just mean so damn much.
It can make you laugh.
Oh, man.
Happens to me.
At the airport, next thing you know, here comes a damn dog at the airport. Ochi's like, that dog's following you. Like, shit. It was a TSA dog of all things going through the airport. I mean, I hear horror stories about the airport. People, I have a riot at the airport. I talk to everybody.
Yeah, made friends with
in
the
fact,
TSA agents.
yeah, I got apprehended by TSA agents in New York, and the
Apprehended.
people waiting by the gates are all pointing. They're like, TSA's got that guy, because they had me by the shoulders and stuff. But what they didn't realize, they were taking pictures. But that was when there was a delay. Speaking of seeing eye dogs and shit, our flight was delayed 3 hours, and people are irate. It was delayed because they were working on the plane to fix
Mechanical
it,
problem.
and these guys are bitching. I'm like,
So,
I'd rather get on a working plane.
thank you.
So they're going back and forth, and 3 hour delay. People are bitching. I'm laughing at people just watching and joking around. I go, let's go live. So we go live, and again, I don't know what I'm going to say. OG has no clue. So I'm giving an update. Here we are. We're White Plane. We've got a delay here. And then I just came out. I said, found out that there's a delay because now the security, TSA, and police are involved because the pilot's seeing eye dog got loose, and we're trying to get the dog, corralled in the concourse. And I look, and OG and this other girl are just going, what? And people standing around that were listening, they're just like, what? They're like, the pilot has a seeing eye dog. I'm like, oh my God.
People are actually listening to you.
Yeah. So I'm just having fun. Again, TSA, walking through, people don't even want to talk to them. Here I am going through, and the one guy, he's like, I know you. He goes, Officer Payne. So next thing you know, he and another TSA agent, we're sitting there talking about My Fight or War. And again, it's a small airport. So people are looking when I see two TSA agents grabbing at somebody. Ended up meeting them, and one is retired New York police. The other is retired corrections officer. Every time we go there now, we sit, and the supervisor comes over. You guys got to keep moving. You're backing up.
Backing up
So here
traffic,
we
yeah.
are. Yeah, just hanging out with TSA, and
He makes friends everywhere he goes.
it's just a riot. Just having a good time. And so far, we only crashed almost once.
Not really.
Yeah, I'm sitting
Not
there
really.
when we were going to New York or somewhere, or
We were landing.
We were going
We were
somewhere,
landing.
and we were coming in.
Where were we landing? I don't know.
I sleep most of the time anyways, but this time we're coming through, and they said there's a lot of fog. We're coming through the clouds. Now, in the past, I could say I don't know shit about flying. In the last probably year, I can't even
7 or 8 times. I don't know how much.
Oh
flights
God,
we've made.
more than that. I mean, between New York, Connecticut, Alabama,
Portland,
Minnesota, Seattle, I'm getting actually to. I still just fall asleep.
Frequent flyer.
So I know when we're coming in that my ears are going to be popping, and I know that we're going to hear the noise with the landing gear and the flaps. And as soon as you get, by the runway, it looks like you're just going to float down. And so I know what to expect. We're coming into land, and he's talking about the fog. So we cut through the clouds, and we're still humming, man. And then we're still going down. And all of a sudden I look, and we're in the fog, but we're still moving. And I'm like, man, we've been going down for a while now. And all of a sudden the fog kind of lifts, and there's the runway. And I'm like, I couldn't even say shit yet, or crash, or whatever. As soon as my eyes saw that runway, all of a sudden you just hear this loud roar. And all of a sudden the nose goes straight up where he pulled up. And here we go, aboard the landing.
Well, it was foggy.
That's what I said.
That's right. I'm trying to think where we were when it was foggy.
It was New York. It was White Plane. And because Kareem was there. And but yeah, so here we
our driver
pull up, and no one's saying a word. So now we're flying around, like 10 minutes go by, and all of a sudden you hear, this is your captain speaking. We're gonna come around and give that another shot. To which I'm like, screw that. How about we're going to come around and we're going to have a safe freaking landing? I don't want to hear. We're going to give it a shot, see what happens this time. Yep. Back to you, Dave. So then, so between that and then we had another time, I'm sitting there and we're coming in, and I'm like, man, we're just like floating like a feather.
Oh.
I go, look at this. I go, we're coming down so smooth and so slow and soft. I go, you're not even going to feel the tires hit the runway. It's going to be like landing on feathers. And as soon as I said feather, bang, we hit. I mean, the whole plane, the guy across the aisle turns and looks at
Like
me and
feathers?
he gives me a dirty look like I did it. I'm like, I didn't freaking just land this thing. What are you yelling at me for? Because, yeah, feather, huh? So, but I still just been having such a good time. And again, none of this would be going on if it wasn't because of the stories of hell, the pain of addiction, and all
Mhm.
that. But remember what I just said earlier. We went from telling stories that are cringing and heartbreaking, making us cry, to joking around about a seeing eye dog with cataracts, squirrels pulling out my shoelaces, the pilot with a seeing eye dog. I mean, that's what I love about hanging with you guys and Rick. I just have to. Okay,
And
wait a minute.
sharing all the good experiences.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because some people, I had someone say to me one time about a person that was dealing with addiction, had a big family and a lot of friends, and I was talking about that, and I said, it really doesn't matter. And this person goes, Manny, this person's got such a big family, so many friends. He's got people around him all the time. I go, that doesn't matter. You could
Mm-mm.
be physically surrounded by hundreds of people, family, friends, surrounded, and be completely alone. And, you don't know. And don't ever think that someone's okay. If you think for any reason you get that feeling, that the tingling in the back of your neck that something's not right, man, please act on it. If that means just reaching out to somebody, a phone call, a text message. I reached out to someone that I met and sent a text message to this person. And I said, hey, man, I go, just thinking about you. Just wanted to let you know. And this is someone I just recently met.
Oh yeah.
And I said,
Yeah.
just wanted to say hi and just wanted to let you know I was thinking about you. That was it. I got this message back from this individual. It said, thank you so much. He goes, you have no idea how much this means to me. He goes, this simple little text just made my day. And I swear to God, all it said was, hey, just wanted to say hi. I was thinking about you. And he sent this long message, so, you'll
Sharing the
always,
love.
yeah, I always say, you know what, our stories, our words matter. They really do. No, you may think they don't. I've had people that wanted to come on and then change their mind, thinking that their story wasn't intense enough. This isn't a contest, man. I OD'd twice. Well, this guy OD'd 4 times. I can't beat that. This isn't a contest. This is sharing heartfelt stories where someone is going to relate to something that the person said that was on a show, and 15 minutes later had to finish it because they couldn't. You're going to get a shit ton of people that are going to be able to relate to something that was said in that short amount of time, in the same way that you get someone who does a 2-hour show that's going to get the same amount of feedback and positive, reinforcement. It doesn't matter what's being said. It's who you say it to and who hears it. And Kaisa, no, it's not a competition.
There you go. Correct.
Because the bottom line is, if it was, we all lost.
Just sharing your story, sharing your love.
We didn't all lose. Us here, we won. We beat addiction's ass, and yeah, we still fight, we still battle. But seeing what you just said, not a competition. We do have those who lost. We have people that we love, family members, friends who lost the ultimate, and that was their lives. Jerry, my brother, literally crawling into his hospital bed, holding him in my arms as he died, and looking at my buddies and saying these words, what a horrific, terrible way to die. Fast forward 10, 11 years. That was me laying in the bed, yellow, dying, being told. I saw that. I held my brother and I told my my family, my brothers, my friends. What a terror! And I did the same thing.
Mhm.
I'm still here. Jerry's gone. I've got other friends, family members who are gone. And, by me sharing my story, their stories, it keeps their name alive, their memory alive. And so that's why I'm going to continue to do it. So, Kaisa, you're right. It's not a competition. It's a family
Mhm.
of very blessed individuals who have taken on a devil and won. And we're going to continue to fight. This battle may be over, but the war's not. And we're going to keep fighting. Kaisa, thank you for talking trash. Thank you for Jim, Tim, Will, and everybody. And look forward to coming on again very soon.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna text message Tim as soon as we get off of here.
No, I didn't. Did you see this?
What?
Heidi,
What?
speaking of cataract, I just had both
Oh
of my
yeah,
eyes
yeah,
done.
yeah.
All right, Heidi. Right now, she's like, oh my God, that's what he really looks like. Next thing you know, she's like, put it back, put it back. See, now you understand
Yeah.
when I tell people that, oh yeah, Manny's got a face for radio. Yes. God, that's awesome, Heidi.
Mhm.
Let's see. Anyone else here with anything that I missed? I still love Andrea. It's the little things that count.
Yep.
That is so right. What squirrel's right mind would follow Manny? And then Lori, of course.
She
the
had to
one
leave and then
only-
she came back.
The one and only Lori.
Kaisa, thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank all of you, man.
Mhm.
We're gonna be, what is today? Today's Friday.
Friday.
This coming weekend is gonna be pretty difficult.
With the
Like I
funeral.
said,
Mhm.
it's my aunt's funeral. The rosary is this Sunday, Monday. The good thing is I get to see some of my family. The bad thing is the reason why we get to see each other.
Mhm.
But again, this is where we tell each other, thank you. This is where we tell each other, hey, I appreciate you. This is where we tell each other, love you.
Mhm.
And because there is no guarantee on tomorrow, that's one thing we all know.
Oh.
So that's an hour and 12 minutes you guys will never have back.
Oh, it's been a good hour.
So
and
it's
12
been a
minutes.
great hour and 12 minutes. I really, really needed this. And Kaisa, thank you and everyone else. Really appreciate it. And if any of you do want to pop on, whether it's a 5-minute hello, if you want to do a 15, 20, you know what? There are it's ish. When I
Ish.
give my time for what other podcast have you ever been on or part of where the person's the host says, yeah, it's 7:00 ish.
Mhm.
What does that mean? It comes on when when it comes on when I hit live.
There you go.
That's
True.
when it
So
comes on.
true.
And so that's what we'll do. And what are we going to talk about? Whatever we want
Who
to talk
knows?
about. The rules are we make the rules.
Yep.
That's the best part of where we are now. Is in the past, the addiction decided when we were going to wake up, when we were going to sleep, if we were going to eat, who we were going to see, if we were going to work. Now we make the rules.
There you go.
So, all right. Well, Susie says enough of this shit. Let's she wants some cuddle time. She's snoring.
Yeah, she is.
Susie, she's got her own chair in the studio.
She
I'll
sure does.
get the cameras over there one time on her. She's got her own chair. And but anyways, man, I hope you guys have a great night. And thank you again for heavy on the ish.
Coming on. Yeah.
Lindsay, thank you guys. Sometimes I will sometime I will have it together to be on. I've got
Okay.
some things I'm working. Lindsay, we're not going
Anytime.
anywhere.
That's
You
right.
know what?
There's no rush.
It's your story to tell when you want to tell it. But Lindsay, we're here, just reach out anytime and be part of the show, man. And even if, like I said, if you want to come on and talk about your horse, I would love that. If you want to come on and, I had someone one time say, man, it's got to be depressing doing what you do, hearing these stories. No, they're very uplifting, rewarding. Yeah, some parts are very difficult. That's why what I do is stuff like this. Lindsay, you want to come on chit chat about horses? I would love that because there's stuff that I would ask, and it, just like someone wants to talk Harleys, let's talk. there's more to life in recovery than 24. And this is coming just from me, because I know right now I probably just sparked a few people that are like, no, that's, there's recovery 24/7. And to that, I say, God bless you. Whatever works for you. For me, my whole mindset is, and this is just for me, is I'm sober. And what's the use of being sober if I'm not going to live life to the fullest?
That's
And
right.
if that means getting crazy and stupid at times, I'm going to get crazy and stupid. If that means just, life on the edge, I'm going to do whatever I can, because I've been blessed to still be here. Obviously, sobriety and recovery will always be number one, but living life is right there with it. So, bam.
So there.
You guys, I love you. I appreciate you. And you got anything before we head off?
Just have a nice Friday night.
And until then, keep fighting the good fight. And if anyone wants to come on and just talk about whatever, hit us up. Love you guys.